Alec, welcome back to the E3 2021 extravaganza here in Tarqaron.
We've had some highs and lows. We had a lot of highs,
Mm,
mostly lows.
I wouldn't say a lot of highs, yeah.
Yeah, we've had a couple of
It's
highs
sad.
maybe.
E3 is not what it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
It's fractured, very fractured. It's in fact you could call it chaos. I think.
Honestly, the industry, I don't like where the industry is going. I wish we could go back to the days of the Super Nintendo. That was when I love games the most.
back in my day, you weren't even born when that thing was out.
It was well out. It was out while I was born. It
I mean, yeah, it had been out for a
had been
while.
out. It was actually the first system I played. It's kind of weird.
Oh, okay. Well, same for me.
So I grew up on Super Nintendo and then N64, GameCube, yeah, and so on. So we're here to talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, speaking
Where
of
do you have it?
Nintendo consoles.
Nintendo, I would say neither of us have much interest in, right? We don't really play much Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nintendo's okay, I guess, but I don't know.
Oh, shoot.
I don't know. Oh, what's this here? Oh,
What's this here?
what's so? That's weird. I didn't think I was into Nintendo, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, Nintendo is obviously we have very, very positive things to say about certain Nintendo titles and games and things and so on and so forth. And he's a stadium thought, and yeah. Nintendo, I think there was a lot of people that were like, Nintendo has got to save E3, and it's like, well, to a point, I think I would agree.
Yeah, let's say just headlines. Was Nintendo the winner of E3? Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yep, I agree. I think to me there was more stuff here. I think Microsoft is the closest contender, and I would, if anyone said that Microsoft wins, I'm totally like, all right, yeah, that's fine. I'm totally with you, because I think Microsoft's showing was super great. But for me, there was more things at Nintendo that I was more interested in, and I felt like they had just the same amount of variety that Microsoft had. Maybe a few less games, but I think there was something for everybody at this at Nintendo's Direct. I thought it was great. It was a great, just as snappy and fun and free flowing and moving along as they always are. It was great.
I think for me, I think it's Xbox is number one. I think.
Wow.
I think it's pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think by default I'm gonna be more interested in Nintendo's games in general. So I think stepping back from that a little bit, I think Xbox had the better showcase overall. Because Nintendo does do this annoying thing, which is like a common thing for Nintendo each year, where it's like they announce these games that have already been out in other systems. And I really get tired of seeing it.
But they didn't do that with a lot of these. Like there were some, but there were more surprises in this, and I think in any other presentation. I mean, maybe Microsoft showed more games that we hadn't heard of. Maybe to me, there was more here than most Nintendo Directs, that in terms of like new content. Like there was just new games that we'd never heard of before. And they don't usually do that.
I don't think there was that many. I feel
sure, there were. We'll go through them.
We'll go through them.
There were a lot of new games.
They started with Kazuya and Smash from Tekken.
Yeah, very cool.
So that was a cool trailer.
Yeah, cool trailer. It was fun. It was silly. I like the Kirby joke at the end. It was really silly.
I'm down. I still play Smash. It's my most played game. So any new Smash stuff is good for me. In terms of like characters I want, obviously I don't really have any interest in it, but it seems like a cool character.
I think it's
technical character.
Makes sense with Bandai Namco's partnership. They're obviously behind the Tekken games. I think it's just a perfect choice. To me, the reason, I think some people were saying, oh, it should have been like Yoshimitsu or some other kind of character, other sort of mascot feeling character.
Wow.
To me, the reason I think Kazuya works so well is because he's a villain character. And there are just so few actual villain characters in Smash Brothers. You've got K. Rool, Bowser, Ganondorf, Sephiroth,
Ridley, DDD.
DDD's like frenemy at this point. Like DD was a villain, but he's more like a friend now.
There's more. I mean, there's I feel like we got more.
There's really not that many. Like, there's a reason why Sakurai made such a big deal about Sephiroth,
Mm-hmm.
because there are so few kind of villain characters in Smash Brothers, and he wanted to make kind of a big thing about that. So, yeah, I that's the thing I think is cool about it. He's a fighting game staple. He's a villain character from a renowned franchise. It's cool. It's not setting the world on fire for me, but I think it made sense. I thought it was a good choice.
Well, we have one more character left now, though.
Mm-hmm.
They really got to do something crazy with this last character, I feel like.
Yeah. I honestly, even if it's not, it's like I'm fine, honestly, regardless of what it is. You know?
I'm fine, but I mean, if like you build... It's all been building up so long. It's like there's so much Smash Bros. Content leading up, and this will likely be the last thing we ever get. So I feel like they have to go out. Because they did weird things with the ordering of the last DLC Fighters Pack, where they had like the last character was like that was kind of the meh one.
Yeah.
But I feel like if this is like the actual final thing we're gonna get, hopefully they save the best for last or something wild. Because I mean, you have your Min-Mins mixed in there, where it's like, oh, I don't want to see that. So you don't want one like that at the end.
Just because you don't like Min-Min doesn't mean
no one likes Min-Min.
There's really no one like Min-Min.
He's like the most universally disliked DLC character, at least.
Really?
In terms of
even more than freaking, I don't even remember this character's name.
Byleth.
Byleth, yeah. Even more than Byleth. That's wild.
It might be more interesting as a character, but the playstyle is really just it's not fun. It's just like stretch the arm. It's not fun. I hate playing the character. Like I don't even like think it's an enjoyable character to play.
I had fun. I've had fun playing it, but I haven't played that often, so whatever. Anyway,
so
Kazuya's a good choice.
Then we kind of went through some stuff we already knew about. There's Life is Strange they talked about again.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did a little cartoon thing. It was kind of random.
Yeah, it was a little weird, huh? Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
It wasn't the best cartoon I've ever seen, but it was like... Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the best thing I've ever seen.
And then they just went through like Guardians of the Galaxy, Worms Rumble.
So, okay, that's something that's weird, by the way. Guardians of the Galaxy Cloud Edition, that game running on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a Switch Pro thing? Like, they didn't have anything about the Switch Pro.
Didn't have anything about
Switch...
it, so it can't be.
It can't be, but something tells me that game's gonna... The only reason they're doing that is so it can run on... I mean, unless they super downgrade it, because the game looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a high-end PS4 game, so... I don't know.
Well, that's the thing with Nintendo. Like, they have these games that are on other systems. It's like, noticeably not as good looking. So I'm like,
yeah. Their performance is always not very good either. So,
yeah.
It's cool. I guess it's cool they have it. You know, good for them.
And they had, like, a game called Dear Villagers. They had 2 Point Campus, which is the follow-up to 2 Point Hospital, which I got in the gift exchange. I still have to play that. So that's interesting. You can... load some student debt onto people. Yeah, that'll be fun.
These were like they had like this was like 30 seconds each. They had like very little about these because
like
they were. Yeah,
but then they got into the 20th anniversary of Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania.
Yeah, it's a collection of the first 3 games. Kind of, it was the 20th anniversary that no one had. You know.
Is there new stuff in there though?
Maybe. I don't know. To me, it seemed like it was just a collection of those 3 games. The first 3.
There was. Also, I feel like it's a weird anniversary to celebrate. Because as far as I know...
Monkey Ball's pretty popular.
Really?
Yeah.
As far as I know, people really like the first 2 games.
The first 2 games... Banana Blitz is very popular, too. The Wii one.
Really?
That's why they made an HD upgrade to it.
Oh.
Yeah, they came out with that like a year or 2 ago.
I know that, but... I don't remember hearing great things about
the series. The series is very popular. Yeah, for sure. And people like that one because it was like you use the Wii remote and you would like do the motion control to control the stage. So.
Yeah. But if there's not new stuff, that's kind of lame. If it's not new though, I thought there was.
I think there might be some new stuff in it too. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's that lame. I mean, collections and re-releases are normal for every console. Like every console has a bunch of them, and this one was like one we didn't know about because it's an anniversary that like I don't know, no one is really.
Well, I just feel like there's a lot of collections that are coming out, so I'm like kind of over it. But it's I I never really cared too much for Super Monkey Ball anyway. Like I played
Yeah.
some of the multiplayers. Like some of the most fun I got out of it was playing like Monkey Ball 2 multiplayer with my friend, doing the little side games. But
I think they're fun. I like them.
It's
They're
alright.
enjoyable games. Yeah.
Then we have Mario Party Superstars.
This to me was great. Great showing.
Features 5 classic N64 boards and 100 mini games from across the series.
Mm-hmm.
So this is interesting, like, because this is like at least a good sign for the series moving forward. Like especially if they make new games and are acknowledging that this is what people want. They want the classic stuff, like the actual interesting boards. Because that was the biggest thing with Super Mario Party. Is like Super Mario Party was fun on the Switch.
It was really
it was
good.
It had like plain boards, you know.
The boards were probably the least interesting thing in the game. Yeah.
And like the mini games were lacking. So
I did not think the mini games were that lacking. I thought they were good. They're better. It was a distinct. Right. It was a distinct improvement from 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm. But we've definitely fallen far from where like Mario Party was at its peak. Yeah. And Nintendo does this with series sometimes where it's like they lose their way. Like with Paper Mario, they've lost their way. With Animal Crossing, they lost their way for a little bit before New Horizons. You know, so hopefully we're correcting here. Now it's like, okay, we're giving some of the best. But I mean, they also had hints of this with the 3DS, that 3DS game that was like the top 100.
Except the game was terrible.
And yeah, I've heard that was terrible. That's what I'm like. Hopefully this is better than that.
So they did a very long. They played this for like 45 minutes at the treehouse. Mm-hmm. That was way too long. It was a very Nintendo thing to do. This game looks great.
Yeah.
It's fast. It's like the board stuff is fast. You're not rolling 6. You're not rolling a 6 dice. You're rolling 10 block. Because you're around the old board, so you'd have to do that. Mm-hmm. So you're rolling the 10 block. You're going around. You're playing classic mini games. Some of the best of the best. There's a lot of really good stuff there.
So is it all old stuff, or is there any new stuff? Like, is it all old boards?
All the boards are from Mario Party 1 through 3. All the other mini games, I think, are throughout all of them. There's definitely a heavy favoring towards 1 through like maybe 5. But
so there's no new content though. It's like basically
it's kind of like a celebration, like an anniversary celebration. I would say it feels a little like. So technically speaking, no, but they're all updated in the Super Mario Party engine. So all the games look great. Like you know, games that use the terrible N64 graphics, like they all look like it's a new Switch game. You know.
Yeah.
So having that all updated, it's all online. Every mode is online. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm 100% down.
We should play it. We should get people together to play that too.
Get together and play this.
Tarqaron Cross Otaku Brothers. That's 4.
There you go. I'm so down. I love Mario Party, and I'm here for that.
That'll be fun.
They also one of the things that they also talked about was that there's like, it's not drop in, drop out, but there's like, you can save your game.
Save midway through, yeah.
Yep, save pay through, and then it's like, oh, you know, if you're running behind, it's like, oh, people gotta go. You can save the game and come back to it another time. It's like, that's really great. Good for them.
Yeah, hopefully it's worked out, like, because they added online to Super Mario Party, right?
This is a theory that I've heard floated around. The reason they added that in is because
for this, yeah.
Well, not just a test, but because they were developing this game, and they're like, well, we're going to have online play. Mm-hmm. Like, we can't not have online play of the game that already released, and is still selling stupid amounts of copies. Mm-hmm. Super Mario Party is still selling, like, extremely well. So...
Well, I just don't know how the online goes to that game, so I'm interested if it'll be...
Yeah, I don't know.
Good, or if it'll be janky.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's pretty good, but...
Because I could see there being like some glitches where you get like kicked out of the game or something. Like I can see that being a thing.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's good and we can have a solid time there.
I'm excited.
But I almost feel like if they were going to do something like this, like an all-star collection or celebration, I feel like they should have had more boards, like just like a ton of
5.
them.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Maybe.
Why not?
Maybe
just do
they'll actually.
All of them?
Maybe they'll actually get wise finally and do DLC for this game.
I don't know. I feel like they're not. I feel like they
I
won't.
feel like they're not going to.
But...
I feel like they won't. They're too stubborn. They're too dumb. They won't do it. They
I
should.
would have loved it if it was like huge. It was like boards from every game, like the best of the whole series, just like how the
we're
mini games
expanding the roster of it's like Mario Party 4, 5, and 6 boards. I was like, that'd be epic.
Yeah,
that would legitimately be epic.
That was pretty epic, right?
That was pretty epic right there. Like, I would love to go around on Pirate Land.
Do you like the Nintendo guy, announcer guy?
Yeah, he's fine. Like,
ding, 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 and here we go, jumping
here
in.
we go. We having fun. Yeah, I like him. It's a little over the top, but it's fun. It is very Nintendo.
Yeah. All right. So after this, that's coming October 29th also. So later this year.
Yeah.
Be down for that. Yeah. Metroid Dread. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't hate you, I dread you.
I'm 100%. I'm here for that. I'm here for Metroid Dread. This is a big deal. Because Metroid Dread was teased, a project that was like known kind of in development. It's this rumored thing. Metroid Dread was this project. They teased it in Metroid Prime 3, and then it was like in and out of development for a while. They lost the trademark on it. The trademark lapsed. They bought it back a couple years ago. They sort of re-trademarked it.
Mm-hmm.
And people just didn't really think much of it because they're like, yeah, whatever. I mean, new 2D Metroid would be cool, but like, they didn't really think Metroid Dread was actually like anything. And then freaking Metroid 5 shows up, and they call this Metroid Dread, and I'm here. I'm here. They did it. I was like, they did it. They won. This is everything. This is to me. This speaks to me, like as a Metroid fan. I was like, this is everything. You a big 2D Metroid fan? I like 2D Metroid quite a lot. Yes. Zero Mission is one of my favorite games of all time. Metroid Fusion is a very good game. Samus Returns was very good, which the developers of that are working on this game along with Sakamoto. Super Metroid's a masterpiece. Not as big on like the very first Metroid, because I think it's an old arcade game, which is why I like Zero Mission, because it's a nice like remake of the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I love Metroid. So
I'm down. I'm down totally for it, though. I've never played a 2D Metroid game ever.
Wow.
So
really?
But I'm down.
Yeah. No, this game looks great. I think I like the idea of this kind of like a Nemesis style enemy where it's just like following you and stalking you. I'm here for that.
Yeah, hopefully they get more into like it gets more atmospheric, because you don't get truly a sense of that in the trailer, but hopefully.
So they did some gameplay demonstration of this at the Treehouse again.
Mm-hmm.
There are some gorgeous looking environments, beautiful, moody Metroid. It felt so Metroid, and I'm very looking forward to it. So yeah. This is coming out in October as well. October 10th, I think.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
This is coming out in October. Yeah, this is this year. So here for that. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not trash. This could be like one of those things where it gets hyped up and it's like,
but if it's made by the same people that worked on whatever it is, Samus Returns, it's gonna be really good. Samus Returns is awesome. Okay. I don't think anyone bought it because the 3DS was dying, but the game was great. So,
all right. So it was obviously a highlight for a lot of people.
Highlight for me, big time. That's why I've been wearing my Metroid shirt. I've been looking so much forward to talking about it. I'm excited about this game. So, yeah.
Well, next up we have same caliber. We have Just Dance 2022. We have Cruisin' Blast, and we have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Cruisin' Blast is cool because I think that's the first time that Cruisin' has been used in like friggin' years.
Cruisin'.
Yeah, like Cruisin' USA. They were like a big N64. They may still be making arcade games or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge arcade racer fan, but I think the fact that they're using that Cruisin' sort of like title again, that was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. That piqued my ears. I was like, I remember the Cruisin' games.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I'm definitely gonna buy it on the Switch. I haven't bought it on PS4. I'm gonna buy it on the Switch for sure.
Oof. Boy, that performance
Looks beautiful.
looks real.
That's what I'm talking about. And I don't know why Nintendo still has this trend of like getting stuff late, and it's like it'll be like a year after a game is out, and it's like, oh, that's coming to Switch. Get hyped, guys.
I mean, that's on the developers there. I don't. It's not necessarily their fault.
I feel like it's their fault. I feel like it's their fault. Yeah. Like if they wanted the game, they would have gotten the game on time. That's all I'm saying.
Beats me.
Whatever. Nintendo fanboys. All right, Mario Golf Super Rush.
Here for it.
Game of
I
the
can't
show.
wait for this game. I am looking so much forward to this game. I love golf.
I love golf.
I love golf. I love golf. All right. So Mario Golf, the original one, got me into like golf
Video
when I was
games?
a little kid. No, just golf in general, like actual physical golf. It got me into golf. So I have a I have a nostalgia for the Mario Golf games. They are adding in kind of like little bits and pieces that are best of the series. So you've got your normal kind of arcadey style golf experience that you get when you're going through the courses. You have the RPG element stuff that you had from like the Game Boy Advance game. So you have like an actual adventure mode. And then what they're adding in this one, which looks awesome, and I can't wait to play it with people, is speed golf.
Speed golf, yeah.
Looks so good. So much fun. I can't.
Wacky.
It looks wacky. It looks wild. So,
yeah.
This game looks fun. I'm looking forward to it. That's out
June
just like next
25th.
week. Yeah, it's next week. So
you're going to be on that thing immediately?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know how am I supposed to finish my Gents game?
No, it's not happening.
I don't know if it is. I'm not very far at all. I'm like maybe 2 hours in.
Yeah, I'm 1 hour in, so we'll get there.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Stories 2.
The same trailer.
It's here. All right, and then we got Wahahaha WarioWare. Get it together.
That's cool.
Something about that voice bothered me. Did you notice?
No, I didn't.
It sounded off.
No, it sounded like Charles Martinet doing
Really?
his Wario voice. Yeah. Well, here's the
I think
thing.
you're the only one who noticed.
This may. Here's the thing. I think I may get you. Wario doesn't exactly like talk in long sentences.
Yeah.
And he narrated this entire thing.
It was disturbing. I thought it was disturbing.
That was a little weird. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, and like the
All right,
voice.
Mr. Krabs.
but two players can play at the same time. But it looks like a classic WarioWare fun.
Yeah, looks good.
I didn't like how he said company. Finally, a game for my company. It was really weird.
It's cool how you can play all the mini games with all the different characters, and they all play differently. That's fun. That's a good idea.
Did they say that in this trailer, or was that another?
I think so. Yeah,
I missed it. I missed it.
And that game's coming out this year,
September 10th.
So here we go. List off the things that we didn't know about. So we've got Metroid. We've got this. We have that Monkey Ball game.
Doesn't count.
Sure it does. We have Mario Party.
I already knew about those boards.
There's something else again. Yeah, but we didn't know about the game.
Metroid.
That's the whole thing. Yeah, I already said. So we've got 5 things that we didn't that we didn't know about. That's kind of a big deal when it comes to Nintendo. A lot of times they really like to sort of really recycle the stuff we already knew about.
I think you're biased. All right, so WarioWare is fun though. Get it together. It's fun. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Is that something you're interested in?
Oh, maybe a little bit.
I know you're into Persona. I didn't know if you're into Shin Megami Tensei.
I have Mega 10. I have the Shin Megami Tensei 4. I still don't think I've picked up the remake of the HD update of Nocturne yet, though. I need to get on that at some point. But yeah, I mean, I like this series. It's a lot darker than the Persona games.
Yeah, it's another Tokyo. It's like some really infested
with demons. Yeah,
it's the wild side of it.
Yeah, and it looks like a pretty traditional like Persona monster fusion, demon fusion and stuff, and uh, battling monsters and again typical Shin Megami Tensei fare. The thing to me that stood out was traversing the world map looked great, like where you could like run around and stuff.
Hmm.
That's kind of new. A lot of the other games have implemented kind of a much more basic or simpler sort of navigation system. So they look like they're taking a little bit of a leaf out of the Persona book and making it a little bit more interesting to traverse the world, rather than just dungeon crawling the whole game. So yeah, I'm on board. This game looks great, and that's coming out this year too, I think, somehow. Or is it the beginning of next year?
I didn't write this one down.
I think that's this year too.
Hmm.
Somehow, I think that's like September or something.
And they said they would focus only on this year and next year, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Danganronpa Decadence.
So what's interesting to me about this is that there's already a Danganronpa trilogy.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with my brother because before this was announced, I was like, "Oh, we should play it," because we've been going through like games in this similar genre, kind of games playing together.
So I wasn't clear. Does this have new content in it?
I wasn't clear on that either. My brother was like, "Yeah, I think there's some new stuff in there."
I think that was what I got. I have to watch the trailer again, but like I was I was just confused the whole time because I was like, I owned the Danganronpa trilogy
Well,
on
so I was
PS4.
thinking, like, what? Do I have any reason to get this? Like, I'm
there must be some sort of difference to it.
But it looked like they showed 4 things. I think they were like.
Oh, do they have Ultra Despair Girls on there too?
It was like Danganronpa S, right, or something like that. Was it there? I saw 4 logos. Literally, they're like, oh, they'll also be available to buy separately on the eShop, and it showed 4 different things.
Indulge in a decade of despair with 4 games in one. It includes the 3 main games: Trigger Happy Havoc Anniversary Edition, Goodbye Despair Anniversary Edition, Killing Harmony Anniversary Edition, and Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp.
Mm-hmm.
This is a brand new game, a board game style bonus game with all new scenes and interactions between your favorite characters.
So do I have to get this version then instead?
Well, if you want a party game with it too, I guess, then yeah. There's a bunch of different versions of there's a collector's edition, which I'm probably going to be a total collector's edition slut and pick that up.
Slut.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I didn't know this had new content. So that was something again. This is another collection. It's kind of like, all right. But
yeah, I don't give them full credit for these things.
This is like partial credit because they have something new with it. It's like they could have just had the trilogy for the Switch. So, but no, they're putting a little something new in there. That's fun. That's neat.
And we had Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater.
Very interesting here. So a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's a new Fatal Frame. It's the Fatal Frame game we didn't get," and it's like, so funny story about that. This is a Fatal Frame game that we got stateside, but it was digital only on the Wii U. It was a Wii U exclusive. This is going to be a multi-platform release, so this is also going to be coming out on PlayStation and Xbox. Physical release, finally, which is great because I think the original was like a 25 or 26 gig download, which meant that you basically couldn't have it on your Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, good job. So yeah, that's cool. This is a re-release, but this is one that I think is very welcome because I don't think anyone played it. So.
Yeah, well, I would get it on PS4 anyway. So, if it's on PS4.
Yeah, well, if you.
Yeah, F Nintendo.
Yeah.
So then they went through Doom Eternal, The Ancient Gods Part 1, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, which no way I'm touching that on the Switch. I got it on PS4.
Yeah, if you already have it on PS4, yeah, no reason.
It just like looks noticeably worse. Strange Brigade.
I didn't think it looked that much worse. It looked worse, but I didn't think it was like, oof, looks terrible. Like the performance was still there. Like I don't know. I didn't think it looked bad.
Yeah, I think you're just a Nintendo sympathizer. Strange Brigade.
Oh yeah.
I don't really remember what it was.
It was just kind of like a thing.
It was a weird thing.
Yeah.
It was a thing. Don't need to talk
Sorry.
about it. Made everyone uncomfortable. Mario plus Rabbids. I mentioned that.
Mention that again.
Great to see it. They get no credit for that because Ubisoft already got it.
Why not? The people that were watching
They
this that
spoiled
didn't
it.
watch Ubisoft's.
Ubisoft spoiled it.
Again, this is like
Whoever gets it first claims it.
Well, then Summer Game Fest got like a lot of the stuff we talked about already in like earlier conferences. Like even Microsoft's, they had stuff that they announced there. So
Advance Wars 1+2 reboot camp.
this is big. This is big news. This is Nintendo being like testing the waters to see if Advance Wars is still something that people are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So remake the first 2 games. Again, no one knew about this. Totally brand new. The 6 things. No one knew about this beforehand. The game, they use a very like cool little toy-like aesthetic with the soldiers and everything. Neat. I'm probably gonna pick this game up. I've never really played the Advance Wars games. They look like Fire Emblem, but with kind of like a zanier, kind of lighthearted sort of approach to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they look very fun. So I'm totally looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right to me. It doesn't really do anything for me. I'm just not that into that kind of game. Yeah, I like Fire Emblem here and there, but
all this kind of variety though. So you've got strategy, you've got it all. You've got just like Microsoft.
You're really riding hard. You're really riding hard for Nintendo today.
It's because you're just like down. You're like Debbie Downer over here, and it's like this was a great conference. I don't know what's going on.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, there was a lot of variety. It was they were pounding it down, you know, throwing it back,
backing it up, dropping it low,
putting it in reverse.
All right, then we have the Zelda. We have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity Expansion Pass.
Yep.
Skyward Sword HD.
Yep.
Game & Watch Zelda Edition.
That's cool, and I'm probably gonna pick one. Here's the thing. I know when they announced the Mario Game & Watches, everyone was like, "Oh, those will be sold out immediately."
Mm-hmm.
There's like 5 at each. There's probably at least one at my GameStop, and then there's like 5 or 6 at my local Walmart and Best Buy. So they're not selling out. They're cool. They're neat little novelties.
They're novelties, yeah.
They're novelties. But the thing that I think is really cool about this one is not only does it come with Zelda 1 and 2, it also comes with a Game Boy version of Link's Awakening, which is great and totally makes it just worth the price of admission alone.
Mm-hmm. How much is the price of admission?
I think altogether it's 50. 50 was about how much the Mario one retailed for, so I guess it's probably gonna be about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we go. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
Or the sequel
to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I noticed that as well. So that's pretty much saying it's not going to be called Breath of the Wild 2, right? So it's going to have some other name.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't say sequel to, you would just say Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, we haven't heard another name yet.
No.
And we're aiming for 2022, they said.
I think they're holding back on giving it a title because maybe the title will be kind of a spoiler of some sort, you know, or maybe they don't even have one down yet. Maybe they haven't even come up with one.
It's just going to be called The Legend of Zelda, a complete reboot of the franchise.
They would have done that with the last one. That's a lot of people were thinking that they would do that with the last one, actually.
Yeah. No, I like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I thought it would just be Breath of the Wild too, but so I'm interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
intrigued.
Yeah, obviously this is something I'm really excited for too.
Yeah, this is beautiful trailer.
So they showed we're going above Hyrule now into the clouds.
So it's like, to me, what this screamed was, this is what we wanted to do with Skyward Sword, but weren't able to due to technological limitations.
Because you even had the same animation, basically, of them falling down. They would use
diving down this gorgeous like cloud. The clouds looked good too. They didn't look like poopy. As to quote Barry Kramer, of old Game Grumps fame. He said that the clouds look poopy, and they look gorgeous in this game.
And it's interesting. I mean, now seeing the parallels there, it's almost like they set up Skyward Sword HD to like lead into this, because now we got Skyward
Yeah.
Sword HD coming up soon,
Yeah.
and that'll be like will hold people over until we get into Breath of the Wild 2. So then they'll
Yeah.
be even more impressed when they see Breath of the Wild 2. It's like, wow.
Yeah. It's like, wow,
This
Skyward
is-
Sword is kind of behind the
Never
curve.
playing
a
that
little bit.
again.
Yeah. Oh, this is crap. No, Skyward Sword has probably still the best Zelda story out of all of them. I think the story is wonderful in that game. But also, Link has apparently the Sheikah Slate seemingly has like turned into his arm. It's like on his arm now, so he's got like a robo hand.
Nice.
And seems to be able to manipulate time with the Sheikah Slate, and he's got long flowing hair. And apparently you can like warp through solid objects.
Yeah, you went up through it.
And yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff that they sort of showed off, and this was just like in a minute and 20 seconds.
Very brief, but
Very brief, but it was just kind of like, here's a little taste.
it's just Breath of the Wild 2. It just like it sells itself. So
yeah,
you just need to know it's still there, it's still happening, and everybody will be happy.
Mm-hmm. So it's probably going to be 2023, but honestly, because they said 2022 in the trailer.
You can't say aiming for 2022, and it's like, okay, then it's not happening.
Take the time. Take your time. If it comes out 2022, great. If it comes out 2023, whatever. Take your time. The first game was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah, I'm just interested where we go from here, you know? If this is the sequel to Breath of the Wild, like after this, are we going back to traditional Zelda, or is this just like, are we in for more?
I'm up for if maybe next year to, again, if they want to do another tied over idea, if they come out with, hey, we're doing Oracle of Ages and Seasons in like a Link's Awakening style, I'd be like,
yeah, do you think they'll just keep doing that? It's like after Breath of the Wild 2, it's just like they'll have other smaller games tiding people over until the next Breath of the Wild.
I think there should be a place for 2D Zeldas still. I think there really does deserve a place, because I think the experiences that those offer are very different, but I think still integral to the idea or the concept of like Zelda as a whole. I think smaller Zelda adventures should still exist.
But do you think 3D Zelda as we know it is forever like Breath of the Wild direction now, full open world?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see.
I feel like it would be hard to rein it back in, you know, at a point. But it'll be interesting, like what variety will they add in terms of the open world if you get further than the Breath of the Wild sequel here. What else are they going to throw in there?
I mean, here obviously we've got a whole sky now to explore.
Yeah, but we've gone vertical, so we gotta go more horizontal. Then if we keep going, completely different areas. I'm intrigued for sure. All right, so that is Nintendo.
Yes.
What is your game of the show? Your favorite game, Nintendo?
Gotta be Metroid Dread. I mean, Breath of the Wild sequel, as much as I want to give it to that, they just showed a minute of it. You know, that's gonna be that'll be, if they show more next year, that's great. But man, Metroid kind of came out of nowhere, kind of came out of left field. It was rumored like maybe a year ago that there was one in development, but then nothing ever came of it. People kind of thought, the rumor was just kind of a joke. I mean, the rumor was probably a guess.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it was real, the fact that they used the Metroid Dread title, that there was like a tease from like 15 years ago, the fact that it's being developed by Sakamoto and the team that worked on Samus Returns, I'm so pumped. My game of the show, for sure. But probably might be the game of the whole all B3.
The whole shebang.
I'm really looking forward to it. So
for me, I think it might be Breath of the Wild too, even though there wasn't that much there. The other games just weren't that interesting to me. Like, I'll play Metroid Dread, but I don't have any particular connection to it. And same with some of the others. Like, they're just nice. Like, Mario Party's nice, but it's more of a, like you said, a celebration of previous Mario Parties. And WarioWare is nice, but it's not on the level of a Breath of the Wild 2. But it's like, you know, Breath of the Wild 2 will probably be my game of E3 2022 then, too.
Yeah.
You know? when we actually see full gameplay.
Some gameplay and stuff, yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I mean, obviously it wasn't like gameplay because there's no HUD, but it was all in engine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But we'll see more. They'll go in depth. They'll spend like 20 minutes on it in the E3 2022.
And then nothing else.
Yep. Well, maybe they could go the Sony approach and it'd be like Metroid Prime 4, Breath of the Wild 2. It's like the heavy
like
Donkey Kong.
The Donkey
Where's
Kong
Donkey
game,
Kong?
The Donkey Kong game that was rumored.
Dude,
hey, maybe
if
it's
Donkey Kong was there, that would have been it for me.
Maybe it's a Metroid thing. Maybe it's like that. Maybe it
crossover.
Was rumored. No. Maybe it was a rumored thing that was in development, and then it's like, well, it's not going to show up. It'll show up next year.
That's kind of badass, actually, thinking of it. It's like, if they do the Sony approach, it's like,
it would be cool.
Those are the pillars. It's Donkey Kong, Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid Prime 4, and what else? What's the last one?
Another Mario game. I'm surprised that I'm a little surprised.
Mario, yeah.
I'm Mr. Mario.
Day in the life of Mario.
A day in the simulator. I'm a little surprised they haven't done anything more with the Mario Odyssey engine, honestly. I have a feeling they have to be working on
Mario
something.
Odyssey 2. Is it going to be an Odyssey 2, you think?
Maybe. Super Mario Journey.
Because when I was thinking of Breath of the Wild 2, and it's like, how do you live up to a game like Breath of the Wild? Like,
how do you live up to a game like Mario Odyssey?
But I was like, how do you live up to a game like Mario Galaxy? You get Mario Galaxy 2. They did it. So they could do that again with Breath of the Wild, hopefully.
Or Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. But yeah. I could see them doing Odyssey 2. Pikmin. Where's Pikmin?
Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4 will be there. That would be epic. Anyway, yeah, Donkey Kong would have sealed the deal for me if Donkey Kong was there. What grade would you give Nintendo's conference? A-. A-.
Yep. It's not like it was not perfect, but I think I would stand behind and say it was one of Nintendo's stronger. I might even put it in like maybe top 3 directs, maybe top 5. It was a great direct. I think they had so much stuff going for it. It was just such a dry E3 this year. I mean, I feel like some of it is probably a little bit of bias from that.
Yeah.
But I think all things considered, they just had a lot to show. There's a little something for everyone here. And yeah, I thought it was just a solid presentation all around.
It's going to be a B for me.
Okay.
B. Only because, I don't know, it could be a B+, B, I'm torn. But Xbox, just a little bit better for me, so that's a B+. This is a B. It's solid. I think it's only, like, talked up as much as it is because everything surrounding it was not so great. But I think in a traditional year, it would be like, it's okay. It's pretty good. That's how I feel.
I'm thinking about it. And it's like even in another year. I mean,
I just think a lot of the games were like collections, or like we're bringing this thing back and we're like remaking this, or we got these games coming over that were released a year ago, and then the new things they had just weren't for me personally. It's like,
but another thing is too is that gaming is iterative. Remember,
you're iterative.
Most of the stuff that was kind of exciting from Microsoft, other than maybe Forza Horizon, was like all stuff that's coming out. Like this is just like trailers and teasers and stuff that's coming out like 2 years from now, or not 2 years, but it's coming out next year. Almost all of Nintendo's showcase, except for like Breath of the Wild, and then maybe there would have been another game in there. It's all coming out this year. It's wild that it's all within the next 6 months. It's a stacked.
It's true.
Just Nintendo alone is pretty stacked.
But a lot of the stuff, I'm like, I don't feel like I would pay for. Like, I don't feel like I need to get some of the collections and stuff that are they're coming. I mean, and I'm like, Xbox, you have value there. The Game Pass for sure. So there's a lot there.
But neither of us even own an Xbox.
Yeah, but I need to check myself
before you.
I'm just looking at it as the conference, and I think Xbox was the best. This year.
They were very good. I give Nintendo the edge. Again, I'm not.
You're
upset.
Always edging Nintendo.
I am, and I'm not gonna sit here and deny it.
You're always edging him. Edging them.
That's okay though. It's all right.
It's not. If you're into that, I mean,
They like it.
It's rough.
Yeah.
All right. So, wait. Yeah. So that gives us a grade of A. Straight
no.
A.
Wait, what?
Oh, B.
B and then A minus?
Oh, B and A minus. So that'll be.
That's a B plus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, what? So what's going on? Look, I'm tired too. We've been talking for almost 2 hours straight, like almost 3 hours straight.
True.
So,
B plus.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You got it eventually.
Got it. All right. Well, what video would you recommend our viewers watch after watching this one?
Go watch our review of Pokemon Sword.
Pokemon Sword. I gave that way too high of a score in retrospect. I was just feeling the hype at the time, I guess.
Dang.
It was pretty good still.
It's a great game. It was a good game. I think people were
but
way too hard on
I had 9 out of 10 though. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Pretty crazy.
Well, it's maybe a little high, but the game's still very good. I think.
But yeah, no Pokemon this year, so.
No Pokemon. I think that's going to be the norm. I think it's going to be the norm moving forward. I think with Game Free, I should say rather, with the Pokemon Company handling their own directs. They announced today that they're going to have one about that MOBA, the Pokemon MOBA. Mm-hmm. They have a thing coming out like maybe in the next couple of days or next week or sometime, I think.
Okay.
So like they're going to be just doing their own thing from now on.
They're not going to mention it. They're going to be like, well, yeah, Pokemon is happening. This Pokemon game is on the way.
They don't need to. Pokemon Company can do their own marketing.
All right. F you too, then. All right, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Tarqaron TWO.